What's going on, Knife Tube? So today we're going to be looking at the Mini Holdout by Cold Steel. But before we do that, I just want to take a second to say God bless Charlie Kirk and his family. I'm on the side of Jesus Christ and Charlie Kirk. Do with that information what you will. Moving forward. So this knife is an absolute budget beast, guys. So I paid $125 plus tax and shipping CDN for this. That comes out to like $155, which, you know, is still a reasonable, it's a lot of money. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of knives in that price range that are made in China, and you're not getting S35V in. So, personally, I think this might be like a number one choice for a starter knife. So we'll measure it up, weigh it up, and then I'll get into the reasons why. So altogether, we've got just under 7 inches, which is crazy. Just, I'd say like 3/16, maybe 3 1/8 blade length altogether, and then cutting edge we have 2 3/4. And then just a tad over 4 inches on the handle. So you get a full handle on this thing, which is great. My hand, I got a 3.5 inch knuckle width, and my hand just fits perfectly. My index is right in the perfect spot, thumbs on the jimping. Feels great, honestly. For someone with a bigger hand, I feel like you're going to be closer to the blade, yes, but I don't see it really being an issue. You're not going to get as much of a choke up like I would have, but, like I said, I don't think it's a big of an issue. Let's actually weigh it up. I don't want to forget that, because this thing is super light, guys. Like, I forget it's in my pocket sometimes. And then we'll just weigh it up first. 2.3 ounces, so like I said, almost not even there. 67.7 grams. So, what I was saying, though, I almost forget it's there, and then I'll go to take out the towel bar and be like, oh, wait a second, because, obviously this is just much more presentable, right? So, yeah, with the upgraded steel here, you get G10, which is great, no liners, which is one of the reasons it's so light. You might have noticed I'm missing a pocket clip. I switched it over. Like I said, I carry this with the towel bar, so this is my left pocket. And this is the third time this has happened to me with Gold Steels. I don't know, leave a comment if this has happened to you guys, but whenever I switch sides, it seems like one of the holes aren't milled or something. Like, it's just weird. It's still sturdy enough with 2, so it's not that big a deal, but cosmetically it kind of sucks. But I want to say about this handle too, though. So I'm not a big reverse grip guy, never have been. It's kind of dangerous, and there's just not really much reason to do it. But this knife really seems to be built properly for that exact reason. So, like I said, I'm not a big fan of doing this, but I love holding this thing. Like, it works very well. You get a perfect grip on it with the pocket clip too. It just sits right under the index, and like I said, that works for me. 3.5 inch knuckle width. So if you guys got bigger hands, I'm not too sure, but this thing is like it's a perfect combination with the towel bar, So, keep that in mind if you're looking for that type of knife. Yeah, it feels really good in the hand. Moving on to the steel. So, like I was saying, guys, 125. Well, we'll talk about the geometry first, because the steel's a longer story. I was under the impression that this was a dagger more so, but as you can see, guys, the tip is a little higher than the center. So That's definitely more of a drop point, inspired by the Dirk Dagger, but geometry here I would say we're more so looking at a drop point. But nonetheless, you got super poking ability, like you're getting through. That's a very thin tip. Actually, I want to get that centered so you guys can see. It's hard to get that into the frame. There we go. I just want you guys to see that even when you sharpen your knives, if your tips aren't completely even, that's how this came out of the factory. So, even the machines mess up. But, yeah, the geometry on this is great. The size of it is great to learn to sharpen. So if anyone, is in that boat, this is a great starter knife. I think this is probably, like, for the value, the quality, the steel, this is an awesome starter knife. Like, if this was my first knife ever, I would have liked, that would have been a cool journey, because I would have started sharpening sooner. I don't know how to, just take my word for it, guys. If you're a beginner, this is something to look at. And especially, so we'll get into the steel now. So, in our day and age, the knife world, MagnaCut is taking over, right? But right now, you can get in Canada, you can pay $190 plus tax and shipping for a Recon 1 S35VN. It's going to be $315 for the MagnaCut version. And at the end of the day, you're going to get a little bit more retention too, and you're going to get a lot more corrosion resistance. But at the end of the day, this is going to do good by just about anybody. You don't need to have the MagnaCut if price is an issue, or if you want to have multiple knives instead of just putting all your money into one thing. So this thing it's super well rounded. This knife is very well rounded. I waited a long time to get this. My interests have changed. I would have normally gone with the 6-inch before I got this, but now I've been starting to pair knives together. You have a 4-inch and then something smaller. And this has been awesome, guys. This thing is just, I love it. I haven't had to sharpen it yet. I don't use it too often. Like, sometimes I'll pull out the Talwar instead. Like I said, you kind of forget that it's there. But when you need it, this thing is great. And at the price, there's really no complaints. I'm really happy that I took the initiative to get this one, because honestly, the 6-inch knives are great. I love them. But this is I'm gonna get more use out of, right? So, anyways, I'm kind of going on a rant there, but if any of you guys have been looking at this, interested in it, pull the trigger, because I'm glad I did. So thanks, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.